papel que desarrollamos no solo yo, sino todo el equipo en relación con este proyecto es proveer a la ciudad de Madrid de mejores servicios digitales para los ciudadanos, apoyándonos en tecnologías como gemelo digital, inteligencia artificial, 5G, la provisión de un espacio de datos y también la provisión de un espacio urbano inteligente.
Those solutions that we then have are really not just business models, but urban business models that work for the city and that are in the end of some use to us, and that they come across this stage of thought, of idea, of prototype, whatever, to an implementation that is upscalable, means that we can not just do it in a pilot, in a showcase, but that it's possible to use it for several things, and then in the end that it helps our strategy, towards climate neutrality or towards introducing new services in the city.
Mission 100 Cities, which was announced a year and a half ago, means a lot for the Canton Sarajevo, especially because it gives us a chance to tackle many of the issues which we need to deal with in order to improve the climate situation in not only Sarajevo but in country of Bosnia and Herzegovina, because it reflects, it will have immense effect on wider community, not only local community.
Yeah, Espoo is one of the 100 carbon neutral and smart cities, mission cities, and we have a pretty good roadmap for being carbon neutral by 2030. The biggest problem that we have is mobility. That is the one area where our efforts to reduce the carbon load are most challenging, if I could say. And this Mobilities for EU project will probably help us a lot in finding new ways of speeding up our carbon neutrality. 2030 is very close.
Well, the most exciting aspect in the Mobilities for EU is that we are actually able to discuss those logistics things or the logistics issues, not only from the perspective of the technical operations, but also from the perspective of the user experience and from the involvement of the stakeholders. And this is something which makes this project, I think, unique, because in this case, you are not just discussing about, as I said, wholesale trading and all this kind of the stuff, but actually you are talking about what are the needs and expectations of the particular users.
So actually there are three main goals we want to focus on, which is micromobility, especially focusing on schools and the mobility around this area, then electromobility and two-wheel mobility. So these are the things that interest us in the city and that we also want to benefit from this project.
From the point of view of the pilots, the challenge, I think that it would be mainly the combination of technology and regulation. That's also a challenge that we encounter in a lot of research projects. But when we are dealing with autonomous driving, for example, there are still a lot of threats that you need to follow, that a project cannot follow all of them, and we are dealing with regulation, ethics, but also all the parts from social science and humanities, how this would be accepted for the society, etc.
Lo que hacemos en el proyecto Mobilities for EU es crear y gestionar 7 laboratorios urbanos, laboratorios de ciudadanos, para trabajar conjuntamente con distintos tipos de actores y codiseñar las soluciones que se van a implementar en los distintos pilotos y en las distintas ciudades. Lo que es interesante también es introducir a los ciudadanos, no solo como una propia fase de consultación, pero dejarles participar también en la fase de codiseño y validación de las soluciones. Van a ser finalmente los usuarios los que utilicen las tecnologías, con lo que tiene todo el sentido de hacerles partícipes de todo el proceso de codiseño.
Stenbeis Europazentrum is responsible for increasing the project's impact. What does that mean? That means that we try to make sure that all the learnings, all the results and all the solutions produced in the project are useful for others. So for instance, solutions that have been proving successful here in Madrid or in Dresden are then replicated in other European cities. Or that research that is done on the solution is then continued by other research organizations.
Pues yo creo que en este proyecto el principal reto va a ser el poder trabajar con un grupo tan grande de empresas, de municipalidades. Estamos hablando de entidades muy representativas dentro del mundo de la movilidad, pero a la vez eso supone una gran alegría y un gran reto, pero en positivo para mí, porque creo que voy a aprender de los mejores en este mundo y creo que todos juntos vamos a conseguir grandes metas con nuestro objetivo principal, que es la reducción de las emisiones de CO2 y conseguir una mayor sostenibilidad en el mundo de la movilidad.